What's up? Happy Sunday night, November 1st, post-Halloween. Did anyone else make it through not eating any junk food? I did. It was hard. It was really hard when you're staring at candy. We did not go trick-or-treating. No, just didn't want to do it. But I did buy the kids bags of candy. So there was that. But let's see. Good to stay on point. Holidays doesn't matter because there's pretty much 3 days of holidays. So you can say I'll start at the new year, or you can just kind of push through it. Maybe have a cheat day once in a while. Okay, for those who have been around for the last 7 years, I didn't do this last year because I was, out of my element, and also had a lot going on being in treatment. So Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Yes, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. This is my 7th year doing it, not in a row because I took a hiatus, but 7th year doing it, where I collect $20 gift cards for food places like restaurants, and handwrite holiday cards and spend pretty much an entire day downtown distributing the gift cards and getting to know those who are experiencing homelessness, their story, what they're going through, what they've been through, and where they plan on going. And it's been quite the journey. I've learned a lot over the last few years. And for those who haven't heard the story, there was one gentleman who was about 20 feet from a coffee shop sleeping. This was the one year I brought my kids. And he wasn't moving, and I told my friend, please bring my kids down there, because intuition. And I lifted the moving blanket, and he was gone. So I had to call the ambulance, and that was probably one of the things that changed me the most in what I've been doing. So don't walk by people on the street. Not all of them have luxurious homes and are out there begging for no reason. That's not what's happening. But anyway, tonight, you are not your past. So obviously, we all kind of mess up every now and again. We make mistakes, or FUBAR, which is FUBAR, fucked up beyond recognition. So yes, we do it. We've done it. As teenagers, as young adults, as parents, as you're in a relationship, we've all done it. And it's okay. It's okay not to be perfect. And says the one that is a perfectionist. But it's okay to mess up. And I think where people get it confused is that I think a lot of people feel that I don't know how people feel, actually, that people aren't allowed to make mistakes. Once is a mistake. How do they say? Shame on, do it once, shame on me, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. Fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I don't know, maybe I should ask George Bush. What's up, David? How you doing, buddy? Did you have a good Halloween? So yeah, we all mess up. We're all human. It's just the magnitude of the mess up, I suppose. But is one sin more important than the next, I guess? I mean, I guess murder is pretty bad. Yeah, that's pretty much up there. But, a sin or something bad it's all wrong, right? Just the magnitude of it. But, I think the purpose of making a mistake is to see if we're going to learn from the mistake, if we're going to be able to acknowledge it. And that's where apologizing appropriately comes in. Once on you, twice on me. Got it. Thank you, David. I knew I was somewhere in the vicinity. It was going to go one of two ways, right? What was I saying? Oh, I think a lot of how you recover from a mess up is how you apologize. And some people don't apologize. They kind of wipe it, brush it under the table, or try and make you feel like they hold on to it for a long time. You have to give yourself grace. Yes, David, you have to give yourself grace. However, giving yourself grace is very hard to do. I think it's easier for other people to forgive you instead of you forgiving yourself. And especially if someone is holding on to something even after you've apologized over and over and over again, if they're still holding on to the moment, then even if it's years later and you're kind of stuck around this person, I think it brings you into a downward spiral and can even, put you in a depressive state or put you in a state of just, what do I do? So it's all about the apologizing. I feel personally, my just thoughts is there's like the, oh, okay, I'm sorry, which for me, that's not how I raised my kids. It's not how I was raised. My mom, we had roommates. I had roommates growing up. My mom, when we would fight, the other kid and I would fight, they would make us face each other and hold each other's hands and tell each other 10 great things we liked about each other. We made it through about 2 before we'd start laughing hysterically and how stupid the exercise was. But when you think about it, like, it was a pretty good exercise, and I used it on my kids, so it was pretty fun. My kids also hated it and started laughing. But it's all in the apology. You can't just be, oh, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Yeah, no. What are you sorry for? How do you feel that this affected you? How do you think it affected me? And what are we going to do so that it doesn't happen again? There has to be steps in the process. And then if that individual accepts your apology, then it needs to, you're depending on the situation, whether it be with your kids or your spouse or a friend, you're going to have that rebuilding of trust factor. And you need to sit down and say, okay, well, I've done the steps of apology, but how do you want me to build that trust back that was taken, no matter what it was, whether it was like a white lie or whether it was something to the magnitude of hurting somebody physically or emotionally. There has to be a stepping stone process of how you can earn that back so that it's not constantly thrown in your face, no matter what it was. And even with the kids, that is something I had to learn. It is a big step I had to learn, and their godparents helped me through that. I can't keep saying, well, you would do this and you would do that, and that's the pattern, because they are kids, they're still learning, and they still have their own journey. But if I continuously throw something in their face on this is who you were, then what's gonna help them? Thank you, Krista. What's gonna help them want to grow if something's continuously thrown in their face of what they've done? So if somebody's harmed you or wronged you in some sort of way, what is going to want that person to hold true to their value and to their word to you moving forward if you're going to keep throwing something from the past in their face? And whether it's a day or 2 prior, or whether it's years prior, once you made that commitment to forgive somebody, then you need to let go and start working on rebuilding. That's the only way something can work. People around you, you're either gonna outgrow them or they're gonna stick with you, and that's just where I have very, very few people who are still around me. They need a safe place to fail. David, yes, people need a safe place to fail because we are humans. We do fall. We make mistakes daily. I make mistakes daily. It's about getting through your day. Like, even now, I'm irritated about today was mommy-daughter day, and I'm irritated about something that happened. There was a place we went and it wasn't very sanitary, and we were just like nitpicking on every little thing. And the more I was nitpicking, the angrier I got. And I was just like, yeah, kids. And I just kind of held on to that. So I brought that home, and then I easily got irritated with my youngest. So it's about recognizing who you're being in that moment and how you're just kind of oozing that energy out onto others and acknowledging it. And now I have to talk to my 11-year-old and apologize and, let him know I wasn't upset with him. I apologize, and I will work on not bringing outside energy home moving forward, because it's not fair to him. He's 11. It's not fair to your family. It's not fair to anyone if you're having a crap experience somewhere else and then you bring it home. That's not cool. So if I've had a rough day at work too, I'll just sit in the car and put on some music I can scream to, cry to, reset, and then I'll go in and hug my babies. So it's about, not only is it about the mess up and the apology, it's about how you're going to rebuild, how that other person involved or people involved, like the kids. I ask my kids, okay, how do you want to move forward with this? What's going to make you feel comfortable? Yes, David says you are the example. It's hard to remember sometimes. Absolutely. Especially because we all have so much going on as adults. It's like, ha ha ha, you can only handle so much and before you crash sometimes, and we're human. And it's important for kids to know. I've seen people, they kind of hide their feelings and their emotions from their kids. And it took me a long time to learn and understand that it's okay to cry in front of my kids. It's okay for my kids to see me fall. It's okay for my kids to see me break down, because that's reality. If I hide reality from them, then it's not going to prepare them for what real emotions are. And it also allows them the safe space to be who they need to be, to have the breakdowns they need to have, and to help rebuild them up. So, I mean, my kids are kids. Kids mess up. So being in a space of, yo, it's okay, but how are we going to move forward from here on out? And how are you going to show me that you can build that trust? My older two have been through some stuff, and we've had to do it a few times. And now if they're doing something, they haven't told me, but they're pretty open with me in that regards. In aspects of a relationship, it's, nobody's got a perfect relationship. I don't think. If there is one, please tell me. But even in a relationship with a spouse or a partner, or long-term, whatever, we're all different. So we all have different communication styles. We have different goals. Someone may want to go out one night, so you might have an extrovert and an introvert together. But at the end of the day, each individual needs to be able to be themselves and have that trust with each other. And if that trust is broken, then finding a way to either make amends. What's up, Mr. Minecraft? Find a way to make amends. And if you choose to make amends together, then you choose to make it together. It's a clean slate, and you go figure out that trust pattern on how to move forward there on out. Because like I said earlier, when something's constantly thrown in your face, at some point you're just like, fuck it, why don't I just keep doing it? If you're going to keep living in that cycle with no continual trust, you cannot do that. And you can't put that control on somebody else. They should be able to prove that they're a transformed individual. It doesn't matter what you've done 10 years ago. It doesn't matter what you've done 5 years ago. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. As long as you did something and you acknowledge that it was wrong or inappropriate, and you took the right steps to make it right. Obviously, I'm not saying go, you can't fix murder. You can't bring somebody back. But in the realm of being able to spiritually, energetically, physically, emotionally heal something with somebody else, both parties are responsible. The one is responsible if they're going to continue forward or not, and the other is responsible for proving that they're making the right steps to transform. But what's irresponsible is to say that you're going to allow that person to prove themselves, but you're going to keep throwing it in their face. That's toxic, and that's not okay. Everyone should be able to, like David said, grow in a safe place or fail in a safe place. So I'm not going to keep this much longer, but you don't need to keep people around you that keep holding you to your past self. You don't need to keep people around you who are toxic, no matter who they are. I've let go of a lot of family, unfortunately, and it's painful and it sucks. But if you can't acknowledge where your flaws are, and I will let go as long as somebody is acknowledging it. And I know that's something I need to work on, because I know it's my choice to hold on to it or not. And that's one of my flaws, is I'm going to hold on to it for dear life until you acknowledge it and apologize. And that is something I work on. constantly, because I know that's one of my flaws. And you can't control the other person. Sometimes the other person is incapable of seeing where they're flawed or is unable to acknowledge it. So in certain aspects, I let go, but that pain is still there. So releasing that pain is something on my end from someone who hurt me. So, again, I'm flawed, I'm human, and that's something I'm working on, is of letting go of this particular situation. So I can definitely say I am nowhere near perfect as well, and I still have a lot of healing and growth to do. But I am encouraging everyone else as well. Thank you, David. Thank you. That's strong. You choose to hold on to it or let it go. And right now, I'm working on letting it go. I'm not there yet. So this one's pretty big. So I'm going to have to, I'm taking this one a day at a time. But yeah, we choose everything. And we choose if we're going to stay in a situation that's going to be toxic to us after we've done our due diligence to show our trust again, to formulate that bond again, and that other person doesn't see how much you're trying. We choose to hold on to something our parents have done to us, whether they have a recollection of it or not, or choose to block it out, whether they apologize or not, because sometimes they're not capable. And for me, that's probably the hardest thing, is to understand that that person may not be capable because of pain. So yeah, still working on my stuff. Yes, Krista, healing takes time, a lot of time. Whew, okay, I'm gonna hold myself together here. So yeah, people are either gonna grow with you and allow you to be who you need to be and acknowledge your growth along the way, or sometimes it's time to say goodbye, just to protect your own energy and your own heart. And it doesn't have to mean goodbye forever. It just means for now, until you're healed. I'm sorry, that you gotta let them go. And hey Maria, how are you, darling? And that's okay. And it's okay. And it's okay to take your voice back, and it's okay to take your energy back. And you don't have to let yourself suffer in the same cycles. And sometimes people won't let you grow, but we're meant to grow. So allow yourself that. Well, thank you, Rita. I appreciate it. Good, Maria. I'm glad you're doing well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time, and let yourself grow and heal, and let those around you grow and heal, and be there as their support, or don't be there at all. I'm good, Maria. Things are aligning very well. Thank you. Yes, David, you have to love yourself enough to make hard choices. Yes. And everyone, it's a daily growing process. So it took me over a year now, to say I love and accept myself. I couldn't even get the I out without sobbing uncontrollably. So it's nice to be able to say I love and accept myself like the goddess that I am. Thank you, Maria. All right, y'all. I hope you had a great Halloween. I hope many of you stuck to healthy eating. I did. It was very hard. It was so very hard. I'm not going to lie. And today I'm craving pizza. So it's not good, but I'm going to get through it. Tomorrow's weigh-in day for myself. So you guys hang in there and have a wonderful night. Happy Sunday night and all types of other amazing things. Have a most glorious week ahead of you. Sending so much love. Mwah.